benefits and negatives of a wide stance and a normal classical boxing stance. Now, a wide stance, which you often won't see, my feet are going to be more wider apart. Now, the benefits of this is that I'm more well anchored to the ground, meaning for my offense, I'm going to be able to really whip and turn, really whip and dig in. But for my defense, I'm more stable, so I can catch shots, and I'm going to be strong. I'm not going to go off balance because I'm strong and I'm stable and I'm anchored to the ground. But the negatives of a wide stance is that it's going to be slower to move. You're going to be less agile. You can change direction at a slower pace. Because I'm wide, I'm like a crab. I'm very slow, but very sturdy. Now, the difference between a classical boxing stance is you're going to have, in comparison to a wide stance, you have less stability. Even though you are stable, you have less stability, but you're way more agile. In the classical boxing stance, you're anchored enough to the ground, you're stable enough, but you have a far better ability to move around and change direction. So I would advise all boxing beginners to start with a classical boxing stance. Be in the classical stance, toe to heel, feet shoulder width apart, just like that. Step just as you would in a classical stance, and as you develop experience, you can try change your stance to using a wide stance.
Here we see Muhammad Ali moving around the ring in a classical boxing stance and narrow boxing stance, and you can see how he moves in circular motions to the left and to the right. His movements do not just have to be in lateral movements to the left, to the right, forwards and backwards, but in fact he can move in a circular motion because he has a narrow boxing stance. He will still be balanced. From this stance, he would also have a very easy time transitioning from defense to offense. Now, Mike Tyson demonstrates a wide stance doesn't necessarily mean you're slow. It just means you have to move laterally, to the left or to the right, straight forward or backwards. But, just like Mike Tyson did there, you can move in the right direction at the right time and create awesome angles of attack. Floyd Mayweather is a great boxer to look at when it comes to using a wide stance and a narrow stance. Look, we see here, every time Floyd Mayweather is caught trapped and he has to resort to defense, look how he goes straight to the wide stance, because he's more stable, more anchored to the ground, and he can catch and roll shots.